So these are all the formulas that you need to know for AICE Environmental Management exam, paper 1 and paper 2. If you're watching this when it's coming out for paper 2, which hopefully everyone will do well on tomorrow. So let's begin. The first formula you need to know is percent change, which the formula for this is new value minus the old value over the old value. So divided by the old value times 100. Alright, the next formula is the just overall percentage formula. Which is part over whole times 100. Now, you'll probably notice a trend. Just remember, if you ever have a percentage on the test, you're just going to do times 100. It should be a decimal times 100 to turn it from a decimal into a percentage. Population density. And that would be the total population divided by the total area. So now, here's where you get into the formulas that are unique to environmental management. Not unique to environmental management, sorry, but probably new to you if you're learning and taking environmental management. So it's the dependency ratio. Which is young people, which is 0 to 15, plus old, which is 65 plus, so people older than 65, divided by the working population. Which is anyone in between that range, times 100. Now, another way you can remember it is just dependent over independent. That's if you know which one they are, and of course, times 100. Rate of increase. Which is births minus deaths divided by the total population. This is the total population just overall, including everything, times 100. And then percentage cover, which is the number of quadrats with species in it divided by the total number of quadrats. And then if you want to find the percentage frequency, you have to multiply it by 100. Now there's a few other things you need to know for this test, such as photosynthesis formula, which is 6 CO2 plus 6 H2O. Let me make that a 2O, which creates C6H12O6 plus 6O2, which is carbon dioxide plus water. It reacts with the sun to create glucose plus oxygen. And then cellular respiration is the opposite. So just remember that cellular, how can't I spell today? Respiration is the other way. And it goes C6H12O6 plus 6O2 to make 6CO2 plus 6H2O. Obviously, this one is glucose, oxygen, still the sun, and this side is carbon dioxide, and of course, water. Now, that's everything to memorize. However, on the test, they will give you some formulas. So, the test itself is going to be giving you the Lincoln index as well as the Simpsons index. But I'll still give it to you. So, the Lincoln index, I'll do it again. And these are provided on the test when needed. So if you need to use it, they'll give it to you. Okay. So Lincoln index is capital N equals N1 times N2 over M. Now you are going to need to know how to use them, and it will give you this too. So big N is the total population size. N1 is the number of animals captured on day 1, and N2 is the number of animals captured on day 2. Now, this is only sometimes. It may just tell you like a different number. So here, I'll just asterisk those. This is possibly, it could just tell you that N1 is this and N2 is this value, and to determine it. And M is the number of marked animals. Okay. And then your Simpsons index is D equals 1 minus, I believe this is called like sigma, can't really draw it very well, N times N minus 1 divided by capital N, N minus 1, and then, sorry, all that minus 1. The sigma, let me duplicate that because there's no way I'll be able to recreate that. That is the sum of all the animals that are captured. Little n equals number of individuals in each species, and capital N is total of each species. Now, here's something to remember. I'll put this in green. Know that the greater the number, the greater the value of D is, that means that it's more diverse. So if it's a high number, it's diverse. If it's a low number, it's not very diverse. That's all the formulas you need to know. Good luck tomorrow. And also, I want to give a shout out to RJ.